for your vets. If you like, subscribe and share. I'm going to give you a documentation of history in this photo album that I found that's been tucked away in a dresser drawer for almost 70 years. I found it last year when my mom passed away. And what it is a history of the USS Gallatin and its voyage from November of '44 until the end of the war. And you're going to really like this because this guy was very detailed. This Navy guy had his stuff together. So with no more further delay, let's start. This was the ship's logo that you're looking at right here of the USS Gallatin. One of the artists aboard the ship was very inclined to make a drawing, and this is the official logo of the USS Gallatin, APA 169. Okay, here we go. This is a foreword in the book, and basically what it says is Francis Joe Ray. He's telling you what the book is and who he's dedicated to, the officer and the men who he served with aboard the USS Gallatin, the APA 169, which from November until the end of the war. And he did a very detailed job, so let's go right on into it. This is just a greeting card, and then we'll go into the first page. This is the commander of the ship. This is the ship. Joe has everybody that served. This is all the officers, the junior officers, the senior officers, the division officers, and the boat officers. Those of you that served on ships know what I'm talking about. These are all the different divisions of all the men. You know, first division, signal division. It just goes on and on. Due to time, I want to keep up with everything. But these are all the men that are serving on that ship. Every single one of them. And they're all in their own divisions. First division, second division, third division, O division, S1 division, S2 division. I mean, this is just incredible. I cannot believe how anybody would have everyone that served on a ship. That's just incredible. These are all the men. You just saw the whole crew on that ship. Now some of the pages are blank because we've got them in special folders that we'll share with you. What Joe did is he had all the rosters, you know, what everybody did, all the days, how many miles from one place to another, day by day journal, of the USS Gallatin. And where there's pictures missing, we've got them out here. Here's a Thanksgiving dinner from November 22nd, 1945 aboard the USS Gallatin. What would they eat on that day? Well, let's see. They had young roast Tom turkey, sage dressing, giblet gravy, green beans, mashed potatoes. You get the gist of it. That was the menu for Thanksgiving. Now here's one of the orders on the ships from the general officers and officer in charge. I guess we don't really have time to read them all. These are proclamations from the royal court of King of Neptune. These are just plan of the day, what was going on at 0500 all the way up to... This was dated a press wire release from 19 February 1945 about the Red Army Artillery planned Saturday of hammering the fortified places. Wow, incredible. This is another notice to all hands on 20 February about the United States Marines supported by heavy fire until the USS Pacific Fleet and ashore. Wow. This is incredible. These are all the ship's orders and stuff that was going on, the ship's log. Now, here's one right here. What's it? Yank. Yank invasion. Yankee base unchecked. The biggest daily news bulletin in the Navy.
Then there's
the whole
there's
story.
Pages back here.
We even got cartoons. Wow. So what is this? This is the San Santo News, the Santo News.
U.S. Navy Santo
U.S.
News.
Navy Santo News.
But they're all front and back pages.
Front and
It
back.
looks like there's about maybe 4 or 5 pages there.
Telling the whole story about what's going on. And the rest of it's probably over here. It was on this page, along with this.
It started to fall apart, so to keep it in its form, we put them in
We put 'em
plastic
in-
cases.
Yeah. Here's another plan of the day on May 14th, 1945. That's just like the Navy too. They got a plan of the day. They all go by it. Now here's a page 5 of something. So we must have the other pages that were on this page with it. So it's just more stuff and news that's going on. Then here's the USS Gallatin, Care Fleet Post from San Francisco, California. Your presence, your pleasure cruises. Somebody had a, here's another plan of a day. More stories, more plan of the days. Well, look how old this paper is, 1945.
Yeah, there's another page back here too.
Yeah, so there's 4, yeah, so there's 2 full pages. And then here's another plan of the day from 6 November of 44. So that means this is about ready when they're getting to go afloat, or to go on the float. Yeah, November 14th, 44. Now they're getting ready to leave. 13 November. The plan of the day, all divisions. And that was what we were showing you, pictures of all those guys that was going. That's part of the fleet. And this is some kind of a roster, yeah.
Roll call for all the ships.
Yep.
See if make sure I get them all in there.
And this is the task force group, 54.8, Rear Admiral Noble. Wow. Huh, look at that, secret. Hey, we got something that says secret on it. So this is when they went. This is when they embarked or debarked, went out for to try to take down the enemy forces and win the war. Captain S.W. King. This is just more paperwork and stuff. And there's another one bent. Yeah, this was everything getting ready for the float, or what Joe called the cruise. This is pretty neat. These are all bills that he put together so it'd be kind of like you pull out and you can see all the bills. Let me give you an idea. Like these 3 bills here, you would pull it out like this, and there's all 3 bills. That's some interesting money.
Try not to crease it.
Okay, and then here's the next one. It would do the same thing. You would pull it out. What a neat way to keep the money, man. I mean, if there was ever a way to do it, you know, and then it just goes right back in, and then here comes another one. Now this is just a little delicate. Let's see. Just a little delicate. There we go. Here, stretch out just a little bit more. Whoops. There's a lot of them on that one. The Japanese government. So this is the currency after the war, is what I'm thinking. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, this is the currency after ice cold drinks. It even says what it buys. Unbelievable. And here's some more stuff. Okay, now is where it starts getting interesting. All the paperwork that we showed you here, where it goes, we found this little note that goes with it. It says the pictures on the next pages were taken on 35mm film by Mr. Archie Smith, who was one of the quartermasters aboard the USS Gallatin. And he was so kind as to procure a copy for Joe Ray. These pictures were taken from Maui to New Caledonia until the time that forces took occupation in Nagayoga, Japan. It's probably the best record of a ship's naval travel that I've ever seen. And on the back of each one of the pictures is a little notation explaining the snap, you know, of what you're looking at. And his whole intention was to make these pictures serve as to give knowledge to the people that didn't know of each port and what they come across and the story of the fall of the Japanese forces. All these pictures, it says down here, incidentally have been approved and cleared by an officer of the Navy during wartime. They do not contain anything that would tend to degrade naval services, or do they expose any wartime secrets. Keep that in mind, what we just said there, anytime secrets. What Willie's been doing is showing you picture by picture of how these go. Now I'll start helping him. And it's a diary, and each one of them tells you what's going on, where they're at, what's going on, the shipmates. Picture by picture. And then there's the notation on the back. Each one of these is telling you, explains what the picture is. But this guy didn't miss a shot. He got everything. But that looks like Manila. Sure enough, it is Manila. Okay, now this next page. Now is where it gets very interesting. We come across this, and we Googled this, because we wanted to know who this was. And we were very, very amazed on just exactly what came up and who this guy is. This man was one of the most famous wartime generals of Japanese forces. He's the one that kicked the British out of Singapore. And he is the one in these pictures that is surrendering. First he's preparing his sword, and then he's going out to meet the general who he's going to hand his sword to, and then he's handing the sword over. So we've got the complete documentation from prepping the sword to handing the sword over to forces. Who is this guy, you say? His name is Yamashita. One of the most famous general commanders of Japanese forces. And now we'll go through some more pictures. Keep that general in mind, because there's something about him. Looks like the islands. I mean, this is the ports they went into. This is a day-by-day journal of just what went on. I wonder if there's anybody living that was part of this ship here. Well, we'll know soon. I don't think they'd be on the USS Gallatin. I don't think they would be on the YouTube, or dare I say the internet. I don't know, but maybe they might have a relative that might know somebody. It was like this quarters master's job to keep a directory of each one of the pictures. And I'd say he did a pretty good job. Let me go to the next page.
Hold on. It's not focusing. There we go.
Wow. These are pictures of Manila and the damage that was caused by when they retook it. Some warships there.
I think we can go ahead and skip ahead.
Anyway, you get the idea.
About
It's
20 minutes
pictures,
in.
Yeah, pictures. This is getting into Japan now. Anyway, it's got day-by-day photos of everything going on. There's ruins of when the bomb hit. Yeah, these are all in Japan now. But anyway, you get the gist of it. It shows the destruction.
Well over more pictures than you would ever want to see. I think these are all postcards.
Now, these are the ships that were with the USS Gallatin, that battle force. This is the USS Sigard, which is 349. There's a destroyer escort, symbol DE. The USS Sea Raven, that's a sub. The USS Stoutrider, the USS Rope, the USS Hopkins, and then there's even, it says on these, wow. Wow, and then here's a bunch of postcards of all different places of that time and era.
About the only colored thing in the whole book.
Right. These postcards, yeah, they were different. And that, all these pages are empty to here, and then this is his naval training course. And then here is his domain of the dragon, ruler of the 180th meridian. And here's his plank owner's document. It says he's entitled to 1 plank on the ship. And then this is a letter from, is that Harry Truman? Sure is.
The White House.
The White House, yeah. From Harry Truman. Wow, that's his actual signature too.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Okay, and then here's all the stuff that came out of the book. Harry Truman, I'll be darned. Didn't know we had a president's signature in there. Okay, here's some more pictures that, like I said, we preserved them. Okay, here. Here we go. Okay. Postcards is what they look like, huh? Yeah. Sydney, Australia. Okay. Here's some more of the documents.
There's another cartoon.
And another cartoon, and this is off that paper. This is page 6 on that newspaper, and it says on the top of the South Pacific Daily News, the Yanks smash towards Ruhr. Okay, and then here's another document, and it says CBN Manila. And there's about a half a dozen pages there on both front and back. We're not going to look at them. This is his United States. This is his graduation from boot camp in the Great Lakes. This was Christmas dinner. This was Passover, Easter. VE Day. The German surrender. Wow, that's pretty neat. That's the cover page of their news that they're getting on their ship. And here is a cartoon booklet. What's it say? Crossing the line. In other words, this must has something to do with significance of it. And there's about a dozen pages. And what it is a roster. In more writing, we won't even open it. Okay, then this is happy birthday to the USS Gallatin. And that's just more of the writing. And this is the homecoming announcement. Dear folks back home. And that's the other side, and then this is more notes, and there's a whole booklet here. There must be at least 8 pages here. There's a little bit more money and some trucks, some equipment, and another roster. Then some more cards, basically, and then some more money.
Basically everything that just fell out of the book.
Yeah. And here's some pictures of some bodies, some dead guys.
Yeah.
And this is Mr. Joe Ray right here with his shipmates. And that basically, and this is a letter from the Secretary of the Navy. So we got one from the Secretary of the Navy, and we have one from Harry Truman, signed. And I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of history. Now remember that general. Google him and find out who he is. He's General T. Yamashita. Yamashita. T. Yamashita. He was one of the most famous commanders of World War II for Japanese forces. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. For your vets out.